Welcome to the foundation. It is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. And hey, man, definitely running the solo act and just going to be on here briefly. But hey, so let's jump straight to disclaimer time. Disclaimer time, basically letting you know that hey, it's just the king up in here. I'm just going to touch on just a couple of topics for right now. And hey, I don't want no drama, no BS, no legal issues, none of the above, because it's for entertainment purposes only. Whew, boy, oh boy, talk about the racial tensions getting high, man. Seems like every day we get closer and closer to one of the many wars we're going to have at our doorstep. It's tough, man. It seems like the first one is going to be racial related. For anyone who's been keeping tabs of what's been going on lately, has been aware of what's been taking place in the state of Ohio, where this young man behind us, Rodney Hinton Jr., he's basically living a nightmare. It's always tough, boy, to lose a loved one, especially your son. Man, this is like a crime of passion. I mean, we all know the story. But first, let's go into the details. His son, Ryan, which was in a stolen vehicle with three other young men. And it kind of seemed like they were joyriding. And of course, law enforcement get caught, and get caught. Things can happen. I think this could have played out a lot differently. I thought it was a stolen vehicle. No one got hurt, killed. Not justifying it. Once again, of course, the young men, running from the scene, and you put the officer kind of in a difficult situation. Of course, the officer's story was it was a gun pointed at him, so he defended himself, right? So I'm pretty sure if that's all that would have took place, I think honestly that we would have still had some outrage, but probably not as bad because it would have been somewhat justified. But how many times we've seen a lot of other people get the benefit of the doubt of when they running, have their back towards them and running and no longer a threat. Like I said, I don't think it would have escalated more. It was tough. You can imagine, you put yourself in Rodney's place as a parent. You sit down and you look at the footage from the officers afterward, the officers cam, and it shows something totally different. It shows a young man that's just running, don't look like he has anything in his hand, and he's shot in the back or in a cowardly fashion. I think that was the part right there to where Rodney was distraught and just couldn't believe what he saw. Like I say, no one should die over a stolen car. Should there have been consequences? Yes. So of course you get a record. That's gonna be bad by itself. You're gonna deal with some legal issues. That right there is enough. I don't think no one should have to lose their life. So yeah. So after Rodney see his son get murdered, because let's just call it what it is, just get murdered, because from what I've seen in the video, I didn't see anything, no weapon brandish. The only thing I saw was someone just get shot in the back. It's tough when Rodney sees that, he blacks out, not knowing which officer took out his son. He's just going, in his mind, he's gonna take out the very first one he see. And it's unfortunate because you get just a random officer and run him over and kill him. And like I said, I don't agree with it. But I do get the message that's being sent, because how many times have we seen unarmed or folks get killed and officers just basically get a pat on the back, a raise, no consequences. Just basically just get an upgraded situation. And like I said, I'm not justifying the situation, but it seemed like to me it's a race. It seemed like to me it's a bateful race war for one. Another thing I see is the days of doing things to people and not getting consequences are definitely coming to an end. And the way this guy's, demeanor was when he walked in that court, a clear message was sent. I guess the days of just a cop just wrongfully killing someone and not expecting any consequences, them days are over. And it's to the point to where if enough of this happening and you start seeing more retaliation like this, because we'll see it. You know, now you at a point to where a line has to be drawn to where you have to sit down at the table and be like, okay, we now they're gonna take you serious and probably go about. They'll be more careful to not be so quick to shoot someone because it could affect maybe not them directly, but it could affect a fellow officer's life. So you really have to really think about that. Most people talk tough and talk like that, but they never do it. They never retaliate. Well, this guy, when you see the look in his eyes, he's looking at that at the fellow officers at the courthouse. Nah, it was clear. You may have been in a passionate situation, but the message was clear. You're not gonna take away one of mine and not expect me to take away one of yours, or even two of yours. That's pretty much the message being sent. And it's like I said, this is an ugly situation. I feel for the people in the community. Like I said, the racial tension is already high. Especially in areas like Cincinnati, Cleveland. It's a recipe for disaster. Don't be surprised that the certain supremacist groups start coming to the aid of officers trying to form a bond if they ain't already in with them and try to carry out some more drama. So you have to be careful. Some more drama. So you have to be careful. You just really do, because like I said, we're at the point now to where anything can pop off. It's like the war zone, and it's always gonna be on when you take out one of theirs. They're gonna definitely. It's gonna be some more back and forth. I won't be surprised if something else pop off from it. But you got to protect yourself. Got to be careful, and, and just kind of really limit your activity on what you do. You try to live life, but these days right now, boys, the tensions are so high. You just got to be careful. Protect yourself. Whew. And speaking of racial tension, of course, we all heard about the Minnesota situation. Young lady Shiloh Hendrix, was a man filmed her calling the child the N word, and yeah, he had right to check her, and I get why she was upset. Another child took a toy from her child. The other child was older, but and of course it was in the autism spectrum from what I've researched, and it's her actions were definitely not called for. She could have just took her child, got the toy back, and just I get it. People say things when they angry, but I think it didn't help when it escalated to her justifying it. Saying if you want to act like one, and I'm like, okay, we can see why you were upset, but now you're taking it to the next level and just letting it all hang out. I mean, and for me, I'm like, I'm not offended because I'm like, hey, I'd rather know what I'm dealing with. I'd rather know, okay, if this person feel that way about me or anybody like me, cool. We got a clear understanding. I leave you alone. You stay on your side. I stay on my side. People you can coexist with anyone as long as we have a clear understanding. So, but it just seemed kind of wild. That she took the social media to raise over 700,000 now. Racism is big money. It seems like folks getting paid off racial tensions, and what do you expect to happen? You the average person, you trying to think will come up. What's oh, what better way to get paid right quick? Let me get involved in some racial activity and film it, and then start a GoFundMe, crowdfunding or something, and then raise up $500,000 or $1 million. It's crazy. Sounds insane. What do you expect to happen from here on out with these incidents? Like the Rodney Hinton situation. We got the Texas situation with the stabbing. We have young woman raising 700,000. It's big business. I don't, so I don't know what else to expect but to see more of the same. So buckle up, because I'm pretty sure before I do another broadcast, there'll be some some more GoFundMe situations due from racial tension. It's crazy, man. Crazy, man. I try to detach and just leave it all behind, and like I say, just deal with people who deal with me and keep life simple. But it's just sad to see, a lot of people say it's sad to see what our country has become, but it's always been here. It's always been here. It's just now is folks are not no longer sugarcoating who they are. They just letting it be known out the gate. I rather know. Some people rather see the sugarcoated. I rather know that hey, you racist and you don't want to deal with folks. Cool. We got a clear understanding. Like I said, but it is sad. This country, which is a great country, but it's also has its own issues. It all started with the foundation of it and how it was established. Is now everything is going back to well, people being comfortable and open with who they are. That's cool. If that means certain folks need to be separated, cool. Be separated. It will become a gang like situation where if you think you can just take one life and not expect some type of consequences, you're dead wrong. So we people just need to figure out how to get along, even if that means in separate communities. You can coexist, but this right here, man, we got to do. I must say we have to do better. I'm just gonna say that much. We have to do better and figure out ways on how to get it together because the folks who are fanning the fire or the flames, they up here, they looking down on the situation. They don't care for either side, any of the sides. They only care about their small percentage that run everything. Everything else, they'd rather keep you fighting each other, whether it's red versus blue, black versus white, gays versus non-gays, whatever distraction they can throw at you, they'll throw it at you just so they can it basically accelerate their overall goal, which is to keep you distracted and reduce the population. Now it's self-perpetual now. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. So let's get it together, people. Let's figure out a ways on how we can make ourselves better. And people can change for the better, but they have to want to, and that comes with learning the real history. But if I really think if people really knew the true history of the origin of this country and the history that goes along with it, it'd give some type of opportunity to want to do better. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll see you guys a little later.